Hello, I'm Grandmaster Taejun Lee. I'm a Hwarangdo 8th Dan and the son of the founder of Hwarangdo, Dr. Jubang Lee. Hwarangdo is based on an ancient Korean warrior class, the Hwarang Knights, that has unified Korea for the first time 1600 years ago in Korean history. Hwarang Knights were famous for their legendary skills in combat, utilizing many forms of weaponry, one of them, of course, being swordsmanship. In Hwarangdo, we have over 108 different weapons in 20 categories. And when we step forward in trying to create a sport combative system, we had to create something that can facilitate the wide range of weaponry that Hwarangdo possesses. So in doing so, we created a weapon fighting system known as 무기 대련, weapon fighting, and it's divided into two categories of fighting. Blunt weapons, Gumtoogi, or stick fighting, and edged weapons, Gumtoogi, or sword fighting. The uniqueness of our weapon fighting system is that not only can you strike to the wrist, to the waist, to the head, and to the throat, which is commonly done on the basis of kendo and gumdo, but now we're also able to strike to the legs. In doing so, I have created and patented the hachehogu, which is a leg protector that goes on your typical kendo or gumdo armor. Along with that, we also utilize rotational and spinning strikes, which is very unique to our weapon fighting system. Also, another advantage is that in both the stick fighting and the sword fighting, we have a wide range of weaponry. For instance, in the sword fighting, Gumtoogi, we not only fight with long swords, but we also fight with twin swords, two swords against two, short or short and long. And also in the stick fighting, we fight with the long staff, 장봉, but also twin sticks, and many different ranges of sizes of blunt weapons. In addition to that, we'll be adding other types of armament, such as the shield, and utilizing the shield with sword, shield with stick, etc. Gumtoogi and Gumtoogi is a dynamic addition to your traditional application of weapon fighting in kendo or gumdo. Any kendoist or gumdoist actually can adapt their sportive aspect and apply our Gumtoogi techniques just with the addition of the hachehogu or the leg protector. Today, with the help of my instructors, I'm going to demonstrate some of these techniques to you. Standing to my right is Chief Instructor Marco Matteucci, who is head of all the schools in Italy, and he's here to assist me today. To my left is Instructor Giuseppe Catania, who heads the schools in Genoa, Italy. We hope that you learned something today and you enjoy our instructional video. Thank you. So now I'm going to go ahead and introduce to you some of the basic strikes we find in Gumtoogi. The first strikes that you're going to learn that I'm going to show are common among gumdo or kendo, and you'll recognize that. And then we'll move on to our unique techniques that you find in Gumtoogi. Okay. Now, before we get started, I want to go ahead and demonstrate to you the basic stance and how you should stand and hold your weapon. In the stance, you need to make sure that since we're sword fighting, we don't want a big target. So we're not going to make deep positions, but however, just one step in front of the other, and the wall of your weight is on the ball of the foot, and the back heel you need to lift and bend it at the knees. So all your weight is on the front part of your foot so that you're prepared to advance and attack. You can't sit the weight back on your heel or else you're going to be run over. Remember, in sword fighting, the idea is that you do not win by blocking, defending. You win by attacking. And the idea is to go ahead and strike and be able to attack and kill with one blow. Remember the idea of swordsmanship. We are dueling. So it is a live blade against a live blade. It is not about clubbing the person to death and into submission. It is being precise, being quick, and be able to strike the opponent with a deadly blow and incapacitate your opponent or kill them before they're able to attack you. So it is with this idea of swordsmanship that you have to apply your techniques, and in doing so, you will understand the true spirit of martial arts. Now, in talking about that, what that means is that when you're ready to battle with someone, it is not so much about winning or losing, but it's about living or dying. So if you engage in a sword duel, then you basically have embraced the possibility of death. So it is this idea of the warrior spirit, that in swordsmanship you find the true value and true understanding of what is to live as a warrior. And that is walking with death side by side. So with that in mind then, the ideal technique in order to apply in your sword fighting is creating a situation where they actually advance the technique first and you're able to strike them before they strike you and finish. That is the ultimate goal. Now, with that said, the next part is then to go ahead and in holding your weapon. Remember, in Korean it's called jukdo, in Japanese shinai. You're going to hold the weapon with the string on top. So on the opposite side of it will be the edge of the sword. Now, when you hold the weapon, you must make sure that you put your palm on the top so that you're able to maximize the pressure against the blade in order to cut correctly. If you grab from the side and put the thumb at the top, there is a weak position and you can also lose your weapon. So, the other thing to keep in mind in weapon fighting or any type of fighting, it is all about then distancing and then protecting the line of fire or center line. So, in order to maximize your reach, my bottom hand, which is my left hand, I'm going to hold at the very bottom as furthest I can and hold from the top position and not from the side or the bottom, but holding from the top. The other hand, the right hand, then is placed on the top, not from the side, and then lift. Now, what you're going to recognize is that my thumb, my knuckle here, is never going to touch the guard. It will always be off. And when you see at the other side, I'm not gripping by the index, but by my middle finger and also my left. So this will be the introduction to the basic concepts. So I'm going to explain in general the basic ideas of stepping, distancing, and the different strikes, and then we'll build from there. Okay. So the first thing in learning is after you understand the gripping is now the different strikes. Now, the basic strike of movement is to maximize your reach and control. So the thing to understand is that your left hand controls elevation and your right hand controls direction. So from here, your 중단세 or regular middle stance, that you're going to lift your left hand above the waist and that you extend and pull with your left and then extend and push with your right. Now, to maximize the distance here, I'm going to extend and make sure both of my arms are extended and that my left hand, you're going to have tendency to go ahead and bend your left arm. it's never going to extend where it's straight this way. And if you see that, it's going to put your grip in a weak position, and you might end up losing your weapon. So the left hand is always anchored. The sword is anchored by your left, and the right hand extends. So it's always here locked out, so it's not going to flick, and you'll be able to lose the weapon. So the grip is here. You pull left hand to forehead, pulling down, then extending, then pushing with the right to make sure you maximize reach. So that's to the head, and then down low, or different angles to the body or to the legs. And we'll go through each of the strikes as we demonstrate the techniques. The stepping then, there's basically 3 different levels of stepping. One is to close the distance, and that is with a step slide. So from here, in your stance, moving forward with the front leg stepping, back foot slide, back foot stepping, and front foot slide. And this is so that we can slowly gain the proper distance in order to attack. Then, once after that, the next step is to lunge. And that lunge is pushing off the back leg and accelerating weight forward and initiating the attack. After the lunge step, then you need to follow through. And the follow through step is then from here continuing through with a step slide, a fluid movement passed through the technique. We're going to demonstrate that to you as we continue our techniques. Okay, we're going to go ahead and demonstrate to you the different distance now that we have in preparing for your Gumtoogi match. 차렷.
됐어.
경례.
바로.
바로. On the command of 발도, which means to draw, that's when we extend and draw our swords. When we do that, you want to make sure you pull as you step forward, raise, and always then step forward with the right leg and prepare it in your stance. So from here, with the loud kiap, really loud, 발도. That's it. So from here now, there's different stances or distance. From here, your blade not being crossed. If you don't engage in this distance, you're neutral. If I were to advance, see, I'm not able to go ahead and strike my opponent. So this is a neutral position. You want to go ahead and use your initial step of the slide step in order to get into a position where your blade is crossed. And you're going to know by the depth of the range and here that whether you're too close or too far. And what you have to recognize is that when I'm close to the opponent to strike, so also he is close to you for him to strike you. And then the third is to be in a clinch position where here now you're also in a neutral position and you fight to go ahead and gain leverage and you're able to separate, and then now you can attack different areas by either you moving back or you pushing the other person back and then attacking. In explaining the distance of the range here to control your distance, first distance when it's neutral, in Korean it's 견임세 for our terminology. And then when you're in range to fight, then it's 거합. And then from here, when you're in this position, in the neutral position, it's called 1-2. Now, there are specific techniques from those different ranges, and we're going to start from the 견임세 position first. So from here, in the neutral position, we need to first move into the distance with a step slide. So when we do that, we get in range to the 거합 distance where the blade is crossed, and now you're ready to engage and strike your opponent. So with one step now, I'm able to go ahead and strike. So when you're in this distance here with the blade crossed, you must then engage in the fighting. Okay, so first here, we need to move in and step in with a step slide. And when you do so, one of the things also you have to recognize here is that whenever we move in and cross blades, that I'm moving into the right side and I'm not moving in toward the left. The left here, when I move into the left, that exposes my wrist as well as his wrist. And when we attack the wrist, that's the side that we're going to attack in. But when we first move in to the position to cross the blades, we need to always move into the right, to our right, and to his left. That way, see, his wrist and my wrist is also at further range. One of the most important things also is to understand about maintaining your center line. So when I'm able to go ahead and move in here, that I need to, at the center, we need to move in and reacquire the center, not by pushing against the blade and not by detaching and moving around. Because when you start to do that, those little technical things is what's going to give you opening for the other person to attack. If he pushes on my blade, then that gives me opening to strike to the wrist. If he just moves in without acquiring the center, then he's leaving the center line open for me to attack. So it's always maintaining the center line. So from here, I step slide in and move in to the center. Then from this position, I raise, and now I'm going to attack. And my first step is then to go ahead and strike to the body, and then I just pass through to the right side. So from here, before we initiate the attack, we make a loud kiap. When you make the kiap to attack, you're demonstrating that you're ready. I'm ready to attack. That I have my energy and my focus aligned, and now I engage. So from here, I make a loud kiap. Then I slide in for the attack, and then I hit body with the loud kiap, and I'm able to follow through. Once again. And the follow-through step, as you've seen, so after I strike here, and then the follow-through by quickly advancing forward and pushing through your opponent is important, because also, when I go ahead and after I engage in the fight attack, if I stay close, he can go ahead and strike to you. So you want to hit and get away and quickly gain as much distance as possible. So once again, when you're set, kiap, step forward and hit body and pass.
One, two.
Next technique we're going to demonstrate is the swan, or strike to the wrist. So from your set, we once again slide in to gain distance, proper distance. Then I'm going to lift and then strike to the wrist. That means I'm going to have to cross from my right side and his left side of the blade, come around and hit the wrist to his right wrist. So from here though, I'm going to move in. There are many ways to enter in and do these strikes. I can go ahead and lift and do straight. I can pull to the side. I can come underneath. There are many different variations, but I'm just going to demonstrate the basic concepts here today. So as we move in, one, I pick up, I'm going to strike the wrist, and depends on what I'm going to do here, whether I'm going to do different combinations, whether I strike back to the body, or to the tari, or to the hori, different areas. It will then determine where I position my blade. But from here, when you practice, I want to hit and pull in front of me, and then I'm going to jam him up by moving to my right side and his left. So being said, I'm going to move in one, I pick up and hit one, and I slide through to my right side and his left. You can hit and pass through my left and his right, but you need to do that quickly. But the other thing that allows him to do is turn in and face you, and you'll be struck. So it is actually better to move in to the left and jam him up. So from here, set. In my position, lock you up. Ice! Step one, hit, forward, and pass. And step one, ice! Hold, and pass. That is then your 손 strike.
One, two,
The next strike is the hori or waist strike. So from here, set. And I'm going to enter in, same way, step, slide and enter, gain your proper distance. And then from here, when he raises, he's going to raise the blade. As he raises, I raise also. I strike the waist and pass through. Same thing again, passing through my right, his left. So from here, once again, I move in first. And then when he raises, I raise also. And I strike to the waist and pass through. There are many ways to do, depending on what you're distancing and what you're trying to attempt. So here, we call this from here, where hori, we're hitting to his liver side, to his right side, but you could also cut ne hori to the inside. Right now I'm demonstrating this to you here, and it depends. If I'm close in, if I'm moving back, if I'm out of the range and I need to move back, I can, as I strike, hit backwards. I can go ahead and cut through, or I can pass through, depending on what combinations that you're going to apply after those techniques, and what range that you're fighting in. So I'm going to, what I'm demonstrating to you is the basic first movement for the hori. So when you're set, haki up. Now the next strike is the tari strike. And tari then is the leg strike, either to the right his right or to the left. When we're cutting away from us, that is outside, so that's your 외 다리, and hitting inside, that is your 내 다리. So in order to practice that, we can do it in the same way. So it's that position here. Now, as an initial attack to move in, you're not necessarily going to go ahead and do the initial strike to the 다리 from your 중단세 position. From here, if I go ahead and move in to go ahead and strike, he raises, and I strike to the 다리, he's going to come straight down toward my head. So that is not the best option, because you're not allowed, when you drop to the knee, you're going to remain here and you can't pass through. Unlike the 허리, in which he raises, I hit and I can pass. The 다리, when you drop to the knee, that's not possible. So the 다리 will become as a secondary attack. But in order for us to practice from this position here, so we move in one, and he raises, then I do the practice here, 다리, and as he comes up, as you come up, you need to always, from here position, 다리, I cover, I strike the other side, and that becomes your initial practice. So from here set, I'm going to move in one, then when he raises, I drop, when he gets down, then I can remain. I can come up and counter to the 머리 or stay down, 다리. Whenever I come back, hit to the 다리, you always must move quickly back into the clinch. I cannot remain in the 다리 position here. He's going to be constantly hitting down. I'm in a low position. It's not a good position to remain to continue your fight. So once again, I can do two things. One, from here to move in, he raises, I drop 다리, pick up, drop to hit the 머리. Or I can move in one, he raises, I can hit the 다리, come up, and hit, and move into the clinch. So, right now I'm going to go ahead and show you, I'm going to hit the 다리, block, come up, and pass through with the 머리. So from here, set. In this one, instead of passing through, I'm going to move back. That is striking to the outside, 외 다리, from the 중단세 position. Now I'm going to demonstrate the 회전 or rotational strikes. The rotational strike in this application is going to be done from the 1-2 position. So when I'm clenched up, now of course that is entered in by moving into the kohap position, and from here I'm attacking, and I get into the 1-2 position here. From here, there's a whole set of techniques in how to gain leverage and advantage, and then creating opportunity to attack. But for now, I'm just going to demonstrate the rotational strike that we can apply from the clinch, from the 1-2 neutral position. So from here, I'm going to turn it. My left foot is already back. So I'm going to then check with I'm glove to glove or guard to guard. You're putting pressure here. I'm going to check him, and as I do, I take a little step, and then I spin around with protecting the head. Then I drop and hit the tari. So from here, I check, I need to push a little bit, step. Now, the important thing to realize on these rotations is that when with this foot here, we're going to come all the way around here, you're making a almost a full rotation of maybe 300 degrees. That's not what you want to do. It is quicker for me, rather, to take the foot straight back, and then I drop to my knee. So when I turn, the balance I get is from a kneeling position to make an L. So it'll be from here rather than a position like this. So it is creating, in stance, to car balance, you're creating 90 degrees. So by opening up the legs, you're creating 90-degree angles. By me going this way, I'm also creating a 90-degree angle. If I turn the foot straight here, then of course I'm not balanced. But by being here, I have balance. Okay. So from this position here, I check, I take a step back, and one other thing that I'm going to end up doing is that if I hold the end here at the very end and I swing through, and notice how far the blade goes, and also you don't have a lot of control. So one extra thing that you need to do is when I move back, I need to choke up onto my sword here so I can get up high and then step. And now you're in good range, you have better control of the weapon, and this is a better strike. Okay, so from your set, I go ahead and push back one and spin. And that is your rotational 회전 다리, rotational leg strike. In our ruling, all the rotational strikes, you acquire actually 2 points. And that will give you 2 points and then secure a victory quicker by doing rotational strikes. The important thing also, the last thing, is when I go in and step, you need to make sure that I'm not dropping the blade and expose my head the entire time. I need to make sure that I keep my blade up above my head to protect and then drop to hit the tari.
One, two, Hey! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120,
I'm going to demonstrate to you now another 회전 다리, rotational strike from the 1-2 position. So when we're in this closed 1-2 or clinched position here, and the last time we went ahead and struck by rotating here, and then now we're going to actually spin to the other direction. So when we rotate to the outside, which is to the left, that is rotating way to the outside, way 회전다리, and now this is the 내 회전다리. We do that by first setting up our foot position. So from here, we need to switch the right foot being in front to the left foot being in front. Then this will allow me then to go ahead and spin to the right here, or the clockwise direction, and drop and strike to the 다리. So from here, first I switch the foot position, I check, I step back, once again, keeping your chukdo, your blade, above the head and dropping down. In this position here, I don't necessarily need to go ahead and release with one hand, but in this position, I can hold on, and then from here, different combinations can apply. So from here, once again, if he strikes to my mori, I can block it, counter, I can go ahead from this position quickly before he attacks me to get into a clinch position again, and then check him, and then do another counter attack. So once again, from the 1-2 position here, first we have to switch the position, foot position, by placing the left foot forward. Then I want to check him, step back to the left, look, keeping the blade, and then drop. And once again, my kneeling position here, I'm not in a straight line or I will lose balance. My foot is turned. I'm creating a 90-degree angle. This was what gives me my stability, and then I'm able to strike to the 다리. And once again, I need to be clear here. I cannot remain in this position. I need to stand, making sure my head is covered. I can counter or move back into the 1-2 position, the clinch. The next technique is another variation of the 회전 다리 from the 1-2 distance. Okay, so the thing here now, sometimes they're very aggressive. So in the 1-2 position, either you can move back, or they can be very aggressive and they can push towards you. So in that instance, when he's pushing towards me, and he's, the person is fighting hard here and pushes. Now I'm going to take 2 steps back. So instead of 1, I take 2, and I step back first now with my right foot, then my left, keeping the blade over my head, then dropping to the 다리. So once again, so this person is very aggressive, he's moving in and he pushes, and I move 1, 2, and drop to the 다리. So once again, when I do the 다리, and this is to the outside, I need to make sure that I don't stay in this position, because I'm going to get hit on the top of my head here, which is not protected from the helmet, and that's not good. So I need to make sure from here that either I block and recover quickly once again, and I strike, or that I go right back into the clinch position, or that I go ahead and block. And if you notice right here, I can go just block and do the tari right away, and then get back into the clinch. So you have those different options from the 회전다리 position.
바람, 스시. 아이스. 아이스. 아이스.
Now we're going to go ahead and use the 회전 다리, the rotational 다리 strike, when the opponent is attacking as a defense, a counter attack. So from here, back further, he's going to be advancing in. So he advances and attacks, and he's going to continue through. And as he does, as he's passing me, then that's when I'm able to drop down. So once again, from here, set. Slowly, he comes in one, and he comes to attack the mori, and I block. And as he comes through, this, boom, and there's my tari strike. Okay, so now it's at normal speed. Ush! So the timing is very important, and of course the distancing. So you need to make sure that when he attacks you in one, that I don't necessarily need to step back so much here. Depends on how deep he moves in, but I can make that adjustment. I can block here and move, or I can decide to go ahead and take a little step on the block, creating more distance, and then drop down. So that is the counterattack of the mori strike with the 회전 다리.
바람, 스시. 아이스. 자. 스시. 자. 스시.
The uniqueness of Gumtoogi is that we're now able to apply many different types of sword weapons, different size, different length, different combination. I'm going to give you a little taste and introduction to now sangum, or twin sword attacks against a long sword. So now we have two medium length swords we call 중금, and together sangum. You can hold in different positions, but since you have two, the idea is one would be used to protect high and the other to protect low. It could be left foot forward, right foot forward, left hand up, reversed with the right hand up. You would not necessarily put both arms up or both arms down unless you're defending, you're blocking. So the first attack here, from this position, I'm going to move in and clearing the blade with my lead, then it allows me opening to get into the mori. And then from here, we clinch.
when I clinch position, I cross in the 1-2, the clinch position here, then one of the things you can do is I can push and just hit, but I can use one of the blades to clear and hit as I create distance again from the opponent. I can use the lead here to go ahead and attack from the outside, meaning his right hand is forward, so I want to go from this angle rather than coming from the inside angle. Because not only can I clear it, but I also have the opportunity to attack into the wrist as well. So it is better from this position, so I take my left hand up and set. And from this position, I go ahead and use my top hand to clear the blade. And as I do, I don't want to put this here, put the other hand down. As I do, my hand is coming up so I can strike the mori, get into the clinch, check, and then back out again. From this position here, I can decide to clear one and hit this horn. So I use the lead to clear the blade to the mori. I can use the lead to go ahead and clear the horn. I can go ahead and use the lead to hit the horn. So, and what the last one I just did is I used my rear, or the right hand, to just put the blade off the center line. And it's important to do this because, as I'm said here, where's the opening? It's right in my throat. And that's where he has the blade always set on me. So for me to just move in, then I'm asking to be, it's suicide. Okay? So I need to clear that, and that allows me to clear and moves in for the son and the body. I can also, from this position, then different combinations apply, because now I can go 1, 2, get into the clinch, and this allows me then to push, and I can, there's my kari, and kari to the left side. I can go ahead from here and spin through. I need to both. I can raise and hit the hori. So many combinations are applied then from the 1-2, from the clinch position as well. I can do a rotational strike also. So from this position here, I can clear and spin. So use the lead to clear, I can go 1 and mori, or I can clear 1 and go deep, and then get into mori, then back into the clinch, move, etc. Now, one of the other uniqueness with the Sangdo now is for the defense. So when he comes in with a mori, he only has one blade, so I can then raise both. And then once I block and defend, I can use either side. So from here, I can go here and strike the mori, or I can strike with my right through the hori, or from here I can go 1 and cross cut. And if I cross cut from here, 1, I can cross cut, and so it goes double. 1, 2, then I need to force cover the head to get back right into the clinch again. I can decide from this position, 1, and actually cut both. blades together. So in position here, 1.
Yes.
4 to the other direction.
Yes.
Many different options can be applied with the sangum against a janggum or long sword.
하나, 둘, 아이스, 예, 에시, 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 회사, 이, 이. 에스, 에스, 이스, 자, 이, 에스, 에스, 이스,
This concludes the introduction to Hangdo Gumtoogi sword fighting techniques. Once again, this is a short introduction and giving you the idea, basic concepts behind what is possible in our method of sword fighting. We hope that you enjoyed our instruction today, and of course I'd like to thank instructor Marco Matucci and Giuseppe Catania, as well as Master Alfredo Tucci and Budo International for having us here. Thank you, and we hope to see you at the next video.